wants a good man to come save her from her poor decisions. Wee woo wee. Did you hear that?
I'm probably about to say something that a lot of people are not gonna like, but I'm gonna just be real.
All right.
I've seen it too many times scrolling on TikTok.
Wait. You know what comes with being flew out? True.
Like, oh, I got flued out and all this happened, and it was by a rapper or athlete. Like, let's be real. You know why you were getting flued out in the first place, okay? It wasn't that you were gonna go down there and miraculously change this man's mind, okay? You knew what you were going out there to do. No means no, okay? Let's just get that clear. But you knew why you were going down there. So if this man is not your boyfriend, if you guys are not spending quality time, if you guys are not talking all the time, and I'm not talking about a week or two leading up to the time that he's flying you out, you already know what you do when you hop on that Delta flight when you make it in Cabo, okay? You like, let's be for real. Like, y'all gotta start being honest with yourself, and you need to take some accountability. Like, you cannot be mad at these men because you already knew what you was doing, okay? And by no means am I saying that that's acceptable on any means scales, but you knew why you were going in the first place.
That is so true.
Honest. Any woman who allows herself to get flew out by a guy she just met knows exactly why that guy is flying her out. He's trying to dig, decimate, dismantle, and destroy her guts. And really what it comes down to is they want to feel like they're not giving it away for free. And last time I checked, that's prostitution.
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Single, absolutely, by choice.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
And I am not getting in another relationship if a man can't be the provider all the way. Trust me, there's a man out there that will take care of me, these kids, the bills, the ride, the food that we put in our bodies, and your broke ass too, my boy.
No.
Are they delusional? Do they live in Delusion Town? Oh my God.
Reality can be whatever I want.
There's some that can, there's some.
Facts. If that's not your ability, then keep scrolling and make way for the man who can.
That can't. The ones that can't is so damn mad. But shout out to the ones that can and understand that no matter how many kids a woman got, if she got kids or not, baby, a good woman is a good woman.
Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway.
And a good man is a good man. And a real provider ain't tripping.
Get the French toast out of here.
But a bum that can't provide, that's on a budget, that wants you to go ahead, fitty, while you also go to work, take care of the household. Them the ones complaining, y'all. The scrubs. A good man, a good provider, baby. That's a good man, Savannah.
I sentence you to 500 lashes.
She can like sit down and talk for 5 minutes straight and I would not understand what she's saying. Because she's like going in circles, saying the same thing over and over again, making no point whatsoever. What is going on?
You can't make this shit up. And so guys, there you have it. And I said this before, but TikTok has really become like the meeting hub for like modern women, bitter, angry, frustrated women who are in situations like this where they can kind of meet and share their stories and feel validated in their experience because they can say to one another, oh, I'm going through the same thing, so it can't be me. It must be the other person, rather than taking a deeper...
I mean, let's be honest, like, I don't see a problem with her having kids and being older and trying to ask for help and someone who can provide and help. But when she started mentioning what a man's supposed to do and all these bucket lists that she has, and like when she said the sole provider of me and my kids and your broken ass or whatever she said. Now that is when like, no. You can't expect that. You can't expect that.
Look at the situation and maybe reflecting on how they could have been an issue.
Why would anyone do that?
And that's why content like this is just so constantly popping up.
Because
women like this, they feel validated in what they're saying. They believe they are right. They believe the words that are coming out their mouth. But let's get to some of the comments.
What would a man, especially in his prime, benefit from picking up from someone else's saved game? Well, I don't think she's asking for someone in his prime. There are probably older men who have wealth, but they're older men who maybe lost their loved one, lost their wife, they didn't have kids, so they look at a younger woman, but not so much younger, you know, like not in her 20s, maybe in her 30s. There's always someone out there, okay? But it's such a small percentage, like it's almost impossible because there's so many women who are asking for the same standards.
First commenter says, what would a man, especially in his prime,
standard.
benefit from picking up from someone else's saved game? Next commenter reads, the good men are no longer your second choice. Another commenter says, it's the psychological shaming tactics for me. And the last commenter says, they act like we can't get a man when a man is the easiest thing to get. I mean, who couldn't have a broke man at their house? Wow. And that last comment is really interesting because when did having a broke man lay up in your house mean you're winning? So let me get this straight. Having a man up in your house who's not going to be contributing anything to the household because he's broke, eating up all your food, doesn't take any responsibility in taking care of the family.
That's bad.
Once again, because he's broke and pretty much just gets to lay around and dig, decimate, dismantle, and destroy your guts whenever he feels like it. That's the kind of man you're bragging about being able to have up in your house.
No, that's terrible. You don't want that man in your house.
Okay. It sounds like there's only one person winning in that scenario, and it's not the woman. If he doesn't check the boxes for what you're looking for in a man, then what's the point? Because newsflash, there are plenty of broke, dusty men out here who will lay up in a woman's house, drink all the Kool-Aid, and not give a damn. Like, I don't know, but I don't think that's an achievement women should be bragging about. And the men that these women do fantasize about, that check the boxes, tend to have the option of not having to deal with the baggage that some of these women come along with.
I am processing the most triggering breakup
Every
I've
time.
had in 9 years. It happened the day before flying abroad to meet my parents on a 9-day travel tour. I feel like I'm in the body of my 16-year-old self with all of the turmoil of my emotions trapped inside this pressure cooker of my body while I fake smile for cheesy tourist pics.
Wait, so my entire family just died in a plane crash? No, sorry, I just don't really know what to say. Could I actually call you back later?
So real.
Listen, setting up a camera to record yourself crying has to be top 5 most cringe things you can do today on social media. And people who actually do this, hands down, are probably some of the fakest people you'll meet in life.
How is cooking dinner? How is that a problem? I don't understand how y'all want to have a man and don't want to do nothing for him. Like, y'all want somebody to pay y'all bill. Y'all want to prostitute. Say it with me. That's prostitution. Because if you don't want to do nothing for that man, you're a prostitute. A prostitute want the man to come through, see her looking all cute and bop her.
Not respectable at all.
Like 50 Cent said, if you think you're going to get by on your looks, you're going to do some dirty shit. So at the end of the day, a lot of y'all sitting alone at home giving advice to other lonely ass bitches. But me, baby, what you need? Because I'm getting it too sweet. Because at the end of the day, when I'm balled over with the cramps, it's my husband who helped me. And when I need to get the work done for our business, it's my husband who helped me. It ain't my girlfriend I could call up. Girl, that's getting her toes sucked. Ain't worried about nothing that you got going on with your lonely ass in the comments. Girl, we gonna eat us some dinner and snuggle.
It's super frustrating that there's even a difference between traveling.
That's actually so true. The thing is that I think of myself more of a traditional woman, but also I believe in equality and I believe in 50-50. There is nothing wrong in seeing a man who takes care of his woman by cleaning, cooking, and taking care of the kids or whatever, but also working. And also there is nothing wrong with a woman who works and also takes care of the kids, cleans and cooks for her man and everyone in the house. Why there should be a separation in that? Like, it's 50-50, you know? I really don't see anything wrong in that. And in my opinion, I do believe that a man maybe should earn a bit more, because I feel like a man would feel a bit better about being a man if he earned a bit more, but I would never shame. I would never shame if I was earning more than my man, for example. Like, there is no shame in that whatsoever. But also, I expect that the man can take care of me in other kinds of ways. It's not only about the money or who provides money-wise.
Snuggle.
It's super frustrating that there's even a difference between traveling as a straight size person versus a plus size person.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Traveling in general is difficult. In addition to, you know, being removed from the comforts of your own home, you're also thrown in this like little wrench of like, oh, also you may be not able to fit all the places.
You're plus size.
Yes, but traveling, like, I do understand some planes are terrible. Like, for example, Wizz Air, no shame. Wizz Air is the reason I am able to go to my home. But their planes are so small. Like, for me, it's fine. I'm a small person. But whenever I have someone else who's bigger than me traveling with me, they're always complaining because it is so small. And none of them are like plus size. So I can imagine if there is a plus size person who would... I never saw a plus size person even on the plane. I feel like they don't go because they immediately know that they're not going to fit. And it is so sad because, yeah, people want to travel. They want these opportunities. And I feel like everyone deserves to travel. Of course, it's not a necessity. It's a choice. And it's a travel, like traveling around. Unless it's for a job, then it is problematic, you know. But if they travel for vacation, whatnot, it's a choice. And I don't know. Like, I wish they make it easier. But also... I don't know if they can go that far to make it that easy. Like,
and worried about traveling.
I just recently went on a cruise, and you would think all of the excursions would have body inclusive accommodations, but there was like 3 or 4 excursions that had weight limits. If you were over 350 pounds, you couldn't attend this excursion. I feel like if you're physically able to walk a certain amount of miles, why like you wouldn't be able to participate in these excursions. I know a lot of the plus size community worries about like toilets that don't have a stand at the bottom that are kind of just like hanging on the wall. There's like beach loungers, like the plastic ones that like bend super easily. And
these are all valid cases and valid things she's saying because, I mean, I live in Europe and I don't see a lot of these topics being talked about because I feel like in Europe they have a less percentage of obesity, but in countries like America they have a high percentage of obesity, and I feel like they really need to work on either having less obese people with their diets and their portion sizes, and I don't know, like just working mentally and physically on that. But since you cannot really change that, it's a choice for every single person, then I feel like they need to start listening to people who are obese and who have these problems to deal with, you know, and fixing a bit and making their life easier, because it's like, it's not always a choice. There are some people who are obese because they are sick, you know, and that's what people don't understand. Like, it's not like, hey, it's just because they are, they're selfish, they don't care about themselves, their own bodies, and they do whatever they want, and now because of that we have to suffer or something. Like, no, there are people who actually, they don't have a choice.
I remember sitting down on it and being like, oh my gosh, if I break this, like I will be so sad just because I want to enjoy my beach time and I don't want to have to worry about, is something going to be able to like hold my weight for an extended period of time.
I would be so like ashamed if I broke something that is not mine as well.
Like, you
don't want to be in that
is
position.
The biggest frustration when it comes to plus size accommodations. When we're flying next to other people, my husband and I try really hard to be as small as we possibly can, but you can only do so much to make yourself small.
You know, I do believe her when she says when she gets on the flight that they try to do everything they can to make themselves smaller. The only problem with that argument is by the time you get on the flight, you trying to make yourself smaller in that chair, it's kind of a bit too late. Have you tried eating significantly less?
See, this is the problem. Why do people always think that obese people are obese by choice? And this is so frustrating coming from this, what I just had with my doctor and the PCOS that I have to deal with the insulin resistance and gaining weight. It's not a choice. It's a sickness. Some people have to deal with these things. And I'm not calling myself obese or anything like that, but there are people who have worse issues and hormonal imbalances and insulin resistance that they just gain weight and they cannot do anything about it. There are so many bad cases, and
moving significantly more consistently on a daily basis. Like you guys know, and I spoke of before I got into the YouTube space, I worked in the fitness industry for over a decade. And the most common time that people actually sticking to dietary guidelines and exercising on a daily is typically about 3 to 6, 7 weeks. That's not even 90 days. And unless you're dealing with something that's hormonal or a medical issue, then I'm sorry, you have not done everything you can do to make yourself smaller. I mean, let's be serious about this and put 350 pounds into perspective. That's 70 pounds more than what 7'1", 280-pound center for the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid weighed. That's 100 pounds more than what LeBron James is lifting.
man, I'm done with people like this. I really like, even in my own family, sometimes like, especially the closest to you, when they just tell you, oh, don't eat as much and exercise, simple, don't eat sugar. And like, bro, you think you told me something I don't know? You told me something I didn't try. You told me something I don't do. I hate these advice that come from people who care about you genuinely, and they say it because they love you and they care about you and they want to see you healthy. But their advice is so dumb. It's like I was living under a rock and I didn't know that by myself. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, or I don't know what, like, I know already. I know all of that already. And he's talking about this. People who are obese know that. They know that already.
And that's about 65 pounds more than NFL defensive tackle Aaron Donald is listed at weighing. And
I
these are
hate
some of the
it.
most well-conditioned athletes in the world. I mean, so if we're being honest, when you really think about it, 350 pounds is actually a bit generous when it comes down to weight limits that are actually allowed. My prediction is we're only going to see more of this type of mentality, because actually doing the work is hard, especially when you've already dug yourself into such a deep hole.
It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of will, like changing your lifestyle. And plus, if you are obese, not by choice, then it is even harder because you have to go through medication and figuring out how to fix something. Sometimes it's not fixable, so you have to like drastically change something in your life to even be able to tolerate it. And people don't understand that. And honestly, like, I feel like more obese people should talk about it and open up and make solution. But I like the way she was talking about all of this. She wasn't shaming, and she wasn't coming from a mean or a bad vibe, like modern women who deserve something. Like, she's not saying I deserve it, you know, and this sucks. She's just making awareness, like talking about it and sharing her experience and what is making her uncomfortable and why she cannot really enjoy life to the fullest and travel and be happy, because these things are not provided to her around the world.
And it's far easier to sit there and be coddled by people who are in the same situation as you and do not want to take accountability.
Things my husband did to me. Wait. Things my husband did to me to help my labor and delivery. Set up our room and unpacked. I mean, of course he's gonna do that. Bought and set up a lavender oil diffuser. Okay, he didn't have to do that. That's extra. Never left my side. That's good too. But that's the least he can do. You're literally created a soothing playlist, watched the monitor and prepared me for each contraction, held my hand through the pain.
Hey, listen, despite the change in narrative that's kind of being pushed around,
I think this is fair. Like, this is the least he can do. I have to push a body through my body, you know, like, this is the least he can do. And I feel like it makes the man feel better, because he knows he cannot take the pain away from his wife if he loves her. So this will make him also feel better that he helped at least a bit.
Today, men cannot get pregnant. Seems like women drew the short end of the straw when it came down to who bears that weight. But what a decent man can do when a woman is going through that phase, he can make it his duty and his responsibility to make sure she is in the best condition, she is in the best state of mind possible, because she's carrying the most important thing in that man's life, his future child. And one thing I don't want to get lost in the sauce as we're having these conversations is that as a guy, you do have to still make sure you're holding up your end of the bargain.
Yes.
It's not enough just to be doing the bare minimum. This is why, as a man, you have to make sure you work on yourself.
Preach
Set a
it.
high standard and hold yourself to it. Because if you're not a man who's ready to be a provider and protector, but you're out here with women recklessly, then really you are part of the problem. So guys, as always, let me know what you think down in the comment section.
Take responsibility for your actions.
As always, if you've been enjoying the content and haven't already subscribed, hit that like and subscribe button for more. And as always,
he could have shouted at that kid, "Get out of my wife!" Nah, that was nice. That was nice.